When we take a look at Minecraft's past, there have been many decisions made by Mojang that have left the Minecraft community absolutely confused and frustrated. But none of them can ever compare to how Minecraft players were left feeling after the controversial move Mojang made 7 years ago that set off a chain of events that changed the way we played Minecraft forever in more ways than you might think. In fact, for this reason, Minecraft 1.21 might just be the tipping point for a lot of players. Well, that's obviously an exaggeration, but in reality, the iceberg of this controversy runs very deep, and right at the bottom is where the question lies. Is Mojang guilty of making empty promises when they said they would fix the problems that they themselves caused? By the end of this video, you'll understand how Mojang's overpromises, lies, and decisions have left millions of players, maybe even including you, feeling frustrated.
Mojang, this decision of yours has been one of the most contested choices you've made for over 2 years now. Why haven't you done anything about this?
Hey, so when we dive into the history of Minecraft updates, we can neatly categorize them into two buckets, underwhelming and not so underwhelming. Yet, there is one update that rises above all, the update that kickstarted the controversy between Mojang and the Minecraft community. But if you're one of the 100 billion new players who discovered Minecraft for the first time, you might not have heard about the game-breaking, game-changing, community-dividing update that was released on February 29, 2016, Minecraft 1.9, the Combat Update. Oh no, not that kind of combat update. In Minecraft 1.9, there were 3 specific additions to the game, each one more controversial than the last depending on who you asked. Take a look at this video. This is a video titled "What Minecraft is Like for Someone Who Doesn't Play Games." What do you notice in this gameplay? This is exactly why Mojang's actions are just confusing. Minecraft combat was simple. Your attacks were based on how fast you were able to smash your mouse to keep up combos in order to keep dealing knockback to stop your opponents from even being able to hit you. This was measured in CPS or clicks per second. In 1.9, attacks now have cooldowns. They also have beetroot, but no one gives a damn. Anyways, now if you spam your sword, you wouldn't be dealing 100% of the damage you could be dealing. You had to time your attacks, and not once when starting out a brand new world is this message told to new players. New players would have no idea that they're meant to time their attacks. When you're being chased by a baby zombie and shot by a skeleton, your first instinct is to spam your sword as fast as you can. This is why it was so frustrating for players who never played the game before. The new combat mechanics were just slow and unintuitive. Jeb, who is one of the lead designers of Minecraft, admitted to as much. But we'll come back to this post later. Well, what about for players who have played the game before? For PvP players, the player who could click the fastest, essentially having the highest CPS, held the upper hand in PvP battles. As a result, a lot of players use methods like jitter clicking and drag clicking to reach those godly CPS numbers. And the gameplay was fast and exciting, which was another issue with the new combat. It was too slow and not exciting enough. In the old combat system, the entry level was low and the skill ceiling was high. To excel in PvP, all you needed to do was practice and hope your mouse wouldn't give out on you. So why would they change the combat system? Mojang wanted to level the playing field better and wanted to change the combat to something more skilled, something other than mouse go brr. Another less likely but possible theory is that Mojang viewed jitter clicking as a potential health concern, and given the way things work in the good old USA, it was just a matter of time before someone pinned their wrist injury on intense Minecraft PvP sessions. They probably didn't want a potential lawsuit on their hands. Okay, wow, Mojang is actually thinking about our health and they wanted to make combat more skillful. How nice of them. I'm sure absolutely everyone loved the new changes and they were met with nothing but unanimous praise and everyone lived happily ever after. Right? Yeah, when we talk about why Minecraft 1.9 was so controversial, we need to talk about what happened between 2016 and now. It's more than just PvP equals bad. And to understand what happened, let's take the mending enchantment and the elytra. Each of these items represent 2 significant problems which Minecraft has to this day. If I asked you what your favorite mode of transportation is it going to be using a boat, horses, or even minecarts? For most people, it's almost exclusively the elytra, being faster, more reliable, and resource friendly than any other mode of transport Minecraft offers. In fact, mending and elytra have something very interesting in common. You see, unlike like diamonds, iron, and gold are farmable resources with multiple uses. Diamonds are famous for being the absolute best gear in the game, the gear that dealt the most damage, lasted the longest, and offered the most protection. What made them so precious was that you couldn't just set up an automated farm to churn out diamonds. You had to go mining for those shiny gems. And when you finally got them, you had to spend them to keep your diamond gear in shape. This created a gameplay cycle that kept diamonds on top as some of the most valuable items in Minecraft. That was until mending came along. Now, you don't need to endlessly hunt for diamonds. All you have to do is grab a set of gear and tools, slap a mending enchantment on them, and kick back in your humble dirt hut. Oh, your tools and armor need a little love and care? No sweat. Just go AFK for a few minutes at your supersized gold or enderman farm and hey, fully restored gear. In fact, mending and elytra have something very interesting in common. You see, before the elytra was a thing, all players had were boats, minecarts, and horses. Boats were the most effective way to travel over huge oceans. Horses were the fastest way to travel across land, and minecarts were just fun. This created a gameplay cycle where players had to switch and choose between the best mode of travel, and players could be creative about it. That was until the elytra came along. If all you wanted to do was travel from point A to point B fast, you could just use a rocket to fly in any direction you want. It wouldn't even cost much. You could build farms to get unlimited amounts of rockets. Now you don't need to use the various modes of transport Minecraft has. Elytras made other forms of travel completely irrelevant. It removed all incentives to build and create infrastructure because all you had to do is grab an elytra, slap a mending enchantment on it, and use your rockets to go exploring away from your humble dirt hut. Oh, your elytra needs a little love and care? No sweat. Just go AFK for a few minutes at your supersized gold or enderman farm and hey, fully restored elytra. Mending and elytras were major quality of life changes. This meant that it heavily reduced the grind and the time consumption Minecraft survival had. You no longer needed to strip mine for ages just to find a single diamond that's probably gonna fall in lava anyways. You no longer needed to spend countless hours riding horses and rowing boats when now you could just Superman your way through the world. All of this saved time that could be better spent actually building things in your world if that is what you wanted to do. And in my opinion, that is why a lot of players have been able to build mega builds in Minecraft in hardcore in 100 days, or maybe they're just using creative mode. So Minecraft players were given the choice. If you liked how these items save time, feel free to use them. At the end of the day, Minecraft is whatever you want it to be. It's your world, it's your rules. If you don't like the new changes, just don't use them. But this is the exact reason the update was so problematic. If you didn't like the new combat changes and you wanted to go back, you couldn't because they were permanent. Your only option was Minecraft 1.8, but then you'd be forever locked out of everything new that Minecraft had to offer since 1.8. There was no on-off toggle for the new combat. There was no game rule that you could switch. You were simply stuck with the new changes. This is the reason why so many PvP servers, including Hypixel, still support Minecraft 1.8, a 9-year-old Minecraft version to this day, in which thousands of players still play on. So of course, how do you think Mojang handled this controversy? Well, they pretty much stayed silent on the whole issue. But that was until February 8, 2019. 3 whole years after the release of Minecraft 1.9, Jeb dropped a bombshell of a tweet. On June 26, 2019, Jeb makes a Reddit post outlining how Java and Bedrock editions need to have the same combat system. However, they want to talk with the community to find a system that works for everyone. Jeb outlines the major issues players had in both editions, and the following changes were made to combat. The combat snapshots got a big thumbs up from the Minecraft community. In fact, they sparked a whole new community that was all about embracing the new combat tweaks. The CDS community got so popular that Jeb would chat with them personally and even share early access snapshots. Combat Test 7a was shared with the username Rise Cookie, who kickstarted the Combat Reforged server, one of the more popular CDS servers. In fact, this is why you can't find the Combat Test 7a on the wiki or Reddit. Jeb made some necessary changes and went straight to Combat Test 7b, which he shared with the public. But wait, you probably never heard of these CTS communities before. Well, that's because they're as good as dead. Once the hype for the CTS updates died down, so did the CTS communities. But at the time, it felt like Mojang was finally about to deliver what we've all been waiting for. But as you all probably know by now, it wasn't meant to be. Jeb would continue to work with the community for the next 14 months, releasing a total of 12 Combat Test snapshots, with Combat Test 8c being released 3 years ago on August 26, 2020. And then, nothing. Mojang went silent again. If everything was going well with the community loving the combat test snapshots, what was the reason for Mojang's sudden silence? Well, on June 23rd, 2020, the Nether update was released. It received overwhelmingly positive feedback from the community, and because of this, a new bar was set. The next update would have to be just as exciting as the Nether update, and oh boy did they promise some exciting features. Better caves, better cliffs, deep dark, caves, just to name a few. The Mojang probably thought it'd be just as easy to overhaul the overworld like they did the Nether, but they overpromised and underdelivered. Well, what happened? Minecraft 1.17 being another lackluster update could be excused for the fact that the update was in development while a certain unfortunate pandemic was ongoing. And of course, Mojang needed to prioritize team health over getting the update out fast. This overwhelming workload is probably why the combat test snapshots stopped rolling out. Jeb had to switch his focus towards helping the team get the Chaos and Cliffs update out on time. And of course, wanting to prioritize team health is understandable. We're all human after all. None of the devs in Mojang are like machines. There is still hope for those expecting future combat changes. Consider this. We've seen everything from caves and cliffs to the deep dark to even archaeology all making their way into the game. It's possible that Jeb might just have a bit more free time on his plate these days. The upcoming 1.21 update seems to be a pivotal moment for many players, because this update appears to have a focus on combat and various technical aspects. So we can hope that the combat snapshots might make a return. If the teased combat changes end up to be another broken promise by Mojang, many players might not tolerate their actions any longer. Predicting the fate of Minecraft in such a scenario is a challenge, because the game's popularity ensures that it won't just die. However, Mojang's reputation and community trust would be significantly damaged, with players doubting their every word for the foreseeable future.